Hey, everybody. I want to thank you for checking out my first ever Foz Feast. This is going to be maybe weekly or every so often. I'm going to go and try some plant-based alternatives to some common foods I may try, or I may some days just eat some of maybe what Carrie makes, just different things. But today we're going to be trying something from a local vegan restaurant. So if this is your first time seeing any of my broadcasts or checking out anything from me, a little bit about me. I'm 39 years old. I've been working on losing weight for the last almost 11 months now. I started at 520 pounds. I've lost about 195 pounds, almost 200 pounds at this point. At the 9-month mark, I did hit 200 pounds. I had some things come up where I had to have surgery, ended up causing me to be a lot more sedentary and just overall dealing with that. But I've lost my weight through a combination of extended water fasting and switching to a whole food plant-based diet. And up until recently, that whole food plant-based diet was free of any added salt, oil, or sugar. And for the most part, our day-to-day diet is not going to change, and we are still going to strive to be salt, oil, sugar free in everything that we eat. It says my video and voice are not in sync, and so I'm going to off then. I'm going to take these filters off. I was trying to sync up. Oh. So that should help maybe with that. I'm not sure. The other would be my camera. Sorry. I was trying to get everything to sync up, just because if I don't, I end up, my hands and my eating are going to be at a different timing. But maybe that fixed it. So let me know. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Carrie. Thanks for checking out the video here. I'm hoping that fixed my issues with the audio. I am going to have, the food where I reach my hand in and when it comes to my mouth are not going to be perfectly in sync, but it took a little bit of effort to get everything going here. In fact, I just realized I don't even have my light on, so that should help with my face. So this is all new to me. I'm super nervous about trying the food here. Like I mentioned, there's a local restaurant to us that they have a vegan menu. Everything on their menu is kind of worded as if it wasn't vegan. So it's very confusing. Like, I was even nervous after I ordered the food that I ordered that there was going to be actual egg on it, and there's not. It's just something, and I asked him specifically about the egg, if it's a product they use or what, and he says that it's something that they make themselves in-house. I'm going to adjust this camera. I'm trying to straighten up the food in the middle of the camera there. So, like I said, I was kind of in a rush getting everything going here, and really, I wanted to get the food fairly fresh too. The place is about 10 minutes away. I knew it would take them a little while to make the food and then get back here, and so I'm a little bit rushed getting everything set up or together. I'm really excited about what I got here. They have a breakfast menu that they only serve on weekends, and it goes till noon. So I got in just before their breakfast ended. I don't know what is in which box. I have a pretty good idea of what's going to be in which box, but I haven't even opened it up. So I have no idea what it looks like. I did kind of watch him a little bit while he was cooking, just to kind of see what was going on, but I didn't see the finished products. And Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, if you watched my live stream yesterday, I talked about going to a place on Thursday called Dirt Burger in Des Moines, and it was really good. The only criticism I would have of the place or of it is that it was very fast foody. Like it was designed to mimic a fast food restaurant, so they want to try to get people in and out quick. And uh, while it tasted really good, it didn't. I feel like knock my socks off. Carrie differs with hers. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I got to go get one of those dirt burgers again. And so I'm going to try these things and maybe these will be, oh my God, I got to go get one of those again. Um, and so I went to the restaurant, asked them a few questions about their menu, and decided to get two different items to eat here today to try for the first time. The first item here I'm going to open up, I guess, and we'll see what that is. I don't know how long after I open it that it'll actually show on camera, so I don't want to. So yeah, this is, I believe, this might be this is the torta. Let's get rid of that. So, this is the torta. I didn't know what a torta was. I I assumed that torta was short for tortilla. So I really thought I was going to be opening up a burrito right now. But it's not a burrito. It's a sandwich. It's huge. I'm going to cut it in half. Oh my God, this is absolutely enormous. I'm just in shock because this is not what I thought it was going to be. It smells amazing. I'm going to cut it in half here and try to show you guys maybe a cross section of it. Oh yeah, it smells really good. It's got obviously the bread. There is their egg on it. There's hash browns. Let me see. I go like this, it might show on that camera. Towards me. No, wait. So I'm just trying to figure out, or I can go up here with it. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. All right. So it's got onions, their egg, hash browns. Looks like it's got a little bit of their meat, their sausage on it. All right, we're going to give this a try. There's no cheese on this. And this is the Mexican. This is the Chorizo Egg Torta is what this was called. So I am going to try this out. It was a big bite. It was really good. It's got a nice spice to it. It's not like super spicy. I thought maybe it would be like a really, really spicy chorizo, but it's not. And it's probably because there's not like a ton of it in there. Like if I was gonna get a chorizo burrito or have something with chorizo, I would expect it to have a lot of meat and a lot of chorizo, and it doesn't need it. I mean, you get the flavor. The hash browns are cooked great. The egg is really good. I'm going to try just the egg. Yeah. I mean, I get a lot of egg flavor. There's onion. I think he might've cooked in with the egg. Maybe that's why yeah. But yeah, it's got a really good flavor to it as well. And, yeah, it's delicious. I really, so it's vegan chorizo. Yes, it's vegan chorizo is what the meat is. I just got, what? So he's got cheese, or their vegan cheese cooked into the egg. And I just got a bunch of that. It was really good. Like I hadn't gotten that before. Um, yeah, that's really good. And it definitely has a good texture um and feel to it. Bunch of hash browns. It's really good. And um those don't taste like they were really salted at all. Um, which is great. Because I was worried that it was gonna be very salted. And then they toasted the bun. Maybe if I put it down here, you'll see it. Yeah, they toasted the bun. It's a little burnt, but I think it adds to the flavor actually. The crispy or the charness. Carrie said she had sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Yeah, and it was really good. I had ordered that. She's actually this is interesting. This is weird for me doing a video right now because usually when I do my videos, it's in the evening, um, and there's nobody in the building. It's usually just me. I don't have to ever worry about anybody walking in the door or seeing what I'm doing or hearing what I'm saying. Today's a little different. We have an event going on for our nonprofit out here. And so there's people like right on the other side of the door from me, and Carrie's here. And so she just made a comment that she's not going to normally participate with my eating this way on Saturdays, but I think she got jealous when I said I was going to go to the store and get some of this stuff to eat. So she was like, well, give me something. And she looked at the menu, and I think she almost intentionally wanted one of the cheaper items or one of the smaller items so that she didn't overeat or get a ton of food. And this was a lot of food. It was for this meal, for this torta, it was like $13 for this one. So it's a little bit expensive, but you could probably split this between two people and eat it for, breakfast between two people, really. But I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna eat it all. Got some water to help wash it down. Let me see if I can get this in front of the camera. This is the. It's hard for me. Right there. This is the chorizo meat that they use. Carrie says, "Oops, hers was sausage, bacon, and cheese." And she had said sausage, egg, and cheese. Yeah, there was no egg on hers. It was sausage, bacon, and cheese. They had two options, and I don't know if their jelly is really good or what the deal is. But the difference between a regular sausage, bacon, and cheese biscuit and the one that was like $2 more is that they added the egg, and then they had a jelly that was on it. And I was kind of, I don't know. I ended up getting her the one without the jelly because I wasn't exactly sure how that would do or how that would taste. All right, let's get into the second half of this, and then we will munch on the other thing I bought. The other one's probably going to be messier than this, but we'll see. A little bit of meat mixed in with that, or is that just potato? Just potato. Go. These potatoes, I can tell that they definitely like did this to them they shredded them themselves. Like there's still a lot of skin on them, and they just taste really good. We're gonna pound on this and get to the next thing. Mm. So my plan when I was doing this was to eat it and then kind of talk about the taste and then compare it to kind of what the actual version of this would taste like. And that would work great if this was a tortilla or a burrito like I thought it was going to be. But this is a torta, which comes on a bun that I did not know. And so I haven't I don't necessarily have a frame of reference to compare the whole sandwich to. Obviously, hash browns are hash browns. They taste good the way they are. The chorizo has got a great spice to it. The egg definitely has a good flavor to it, especially the egg. You know, I don't know, like the egg itself, if it necessarily tastes like egg, but the onion that's caramelized in it and the cheese that's mixed with it and the texture and everything gives the egg feeling and definitely comes off as egg like, I guess. Mm. Oh, good. When I get a mix of everything, the chorizo and the cheese and the egg and the hash brown, I mean, it tastes like as good as any breakfast sandwich as I would get. I mean, and this is a lot. There's a lot to it. It's not good. I got to figure out my camera angles. I'm trying to keep the food on camera and keep my head on camera, and I'm eating um and everything is. I just do all kinds of stuff. I got a tripod in front of me with this camera now that I don't normally have. Um, I tried doing a bunch of changes with the audio to get everything to delay, but it doesn't seem like it's that far off the sync. I mean, it's a little bit off, but I think it's better to have this video be a little off than have my voice be way off while I'm eating. Oh. It does have like a different flavor than what I imagine this would have if it was regular cheese and regular meat. It's not a better or worse flavor. It's just a little bit different. And I noticed it when I was driving here with it from the restaurant that the food smelled really good in the bag, the to-go bag. It smelled great, but it didn't smell like um fast food normally does, or like how uh I would expect something to smell. Like when we went into the Dirt Burger place the other day, it really smelled like that the oil that they were cooking the fries in and that kind of flavor. And even the fries that we had at Dirt Burger, I believe they were probably cooked in sunflower seed oil. I'm not sure exactly what they were cooked in, but they I could tell that the oil was a different oil than um they normally had fries in. I mean, the crazy. I mean, it's yeah, it's funny to think that I haven't had some of these flavors in a year. I mean, the chorizo flavor, we've had spicy stuff, but not like that chorizo spice. And the cheese is something that I wasn't sure how that was going to taste, and it really is good. You know, I don't know if I was just they stand alone, I'm not sure, but mixed in with the egg and with the onion, it really makes that taste like an omelet. Mm. So much food. I was expecting, and I saw him cooking this bun on the grill, and I didn't really put it together that it was for my meal. But I was not expecting as much bun. I was expecting a tortilla shell. So this is very filling. And yeah, it was a little bit bigger than I was expecting, or a little bit thicker than I was expecting. Anthony says, so is the egg tofu? I tried to ask him. He didn't really give me an answer. I would guess it's some sort of form of tofu. Because I just asked him, and all he told me was that they make it all he told me was that they make it themselves. Here, this is a piece of the egg. You can really see the cheese in there. I don't know if let me see. I'm going the wrong way. Oh, it's going to fall off my finger. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Figure it out eventually. Come on. Ooh, look at that cheese. So good. I mean, I wouldn't know that was an egg. Like I said, I mean, in a lot of these things we've talked about, me and Carrie have talked about that the flavors that you make meat taste like, we can still make other foods taste like those flavors. Like a lot of times you take meat and you put garlic and salt on it. Well, you can take tofu and you put garlic and salt on it. And what Carrie's saying here, my folks make scrambled eggs using tofu and this black salt that smells sulfury. Carrie hasn't had it, but that's probably what you do, is put some sort of like a salt in it that has a flavor, a salty flavor, or that sulfur flavor. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, let's see. This is last bite of the put it up there. Ooh, last full bite of the sandwich. Mm. That was a good last bite. I'm not going to eat. This is just burnt. Not burnt, but it's just toasted and the hash browns. And I'm so full. I'm not going to finish that because I got a whole nother meal to eat that I'm really excited to try. So that was the breakfast chorizo and egg torta from Healthy Harvest in Rock Island, Illinois. All right. Any guesses on what this is? Anybody got any guesses? I give you a second to put them in if you have. This is probably one of my favorite breakfast things to get. Like if I go to a restaurant and I get breakfast and I order my breakfast, a lot of times like there's a restaurant near us that's similar to like a Denny's where I would get chicken fried steak skillet, where it would be, chicken fried steak, potatoes, a mix of stuff, omelet, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of times, and Carrie says, "Oh, I know you like to order a side of this." I do. And that is, instead of getting that toast or getting pancakes, you got to get a real side. And that would be to get a side of biscuits and gravy. And that is what I got here, is a side of biscuits and gravy. It is definitely a different color than I expected, but you know, that is what you get when you're eating something a little different. So I don't know how I'm going to attack this, and I'm trying to figure out, because it looks like there's more than 2 biscuits in here. So I got to figure out what everything is. We got a biscuit and a biscuit. It's just, I don't know. It maybe the full order is like 3 biscuits. So we are going to try this biscuits and gravy, and I can smell the seasoning. This is going to be kind of tough to eat. I don't even know. Anthony says, what kind of gravy is that? Yeah, it is definitely different looking. It does not have a great camera appearance here. So we're going to try to eat some of this. Smells very seasoned. Smells very good. That's good. Yeah, it's really good. It is not like traditional sausage gravy tasting. Like it has the pepper, like the peppery taste to it. And I'm trying to think of what else the flavor is. I mean, it's definitely all seasoning that they're using to try to make these flavors. Yeah, and the biscuit's a little bit different because it's, usually you would get like a buttermilk biscuit with biscuits and gravy. I think that's what you would call it. And this is definitely not a buttermilk biscuit. But the biscuit itself has a good flavor, a good biscuit flavor. Let me see if I can get some that doesn't have like a ton of the gravy on it. Yeah, I mean, it tastes just like a biscuit. It's a little less flaky than a biscuit might be. It's softer, I guess, or more like cake, like a sponge to it. But it's still good. Very thick. Um, like I said, this was, I feel like it was more than 2 biscuits. And I think almost the only way I'm going to be able to eat this is just to kind of mix it up, or just kind of like make it almost like a mash. This is definitely not the prettiest of things that I could have bought to eat. And it yeah, just funny, because especially with the tortilla not being, or the torta not being a burrito like I thought it was going to be, and then this. But this is really good. This is going to take a little bit longer to eat, I think, or it's going to be a little bit more involved as far as paying attention to eating it, instead of just being able to just pick it up and throw it in my mouth. See if I can get does it any, keep moving there we go. Oh. So, oops. Well, we'll just try that. We'll clean that up later. Trying to get fancy and show the camera. Keep screwing up with the camera. You're not seeing the food, huh? But really, I really like the biscuit. Honestly, like it's cakier than a biscuit would be. Um, but I really do like the biscuit, and actually, as the sausage gravy is in my mouth, it's a lot spicier than I thought. I don't know if it's the pepper that gives it that kind of lasting kind of spice in my tongue, but or maybe it was just I got, I mixed it up a little bit and just got a better bite of it. Um but yeah, that the sauce has got a very strong flavor to it. And it's a good flavor. It's just not quite like sausage gravy flavor. It's different. Like if you said if I were given this as biscuits and gravy and had no form of reference, this is really good. And it's not any worse than regular biscuits and gravy. It's just a different flavor. I mean, you could put this sauce on top of a regular biscuit and it would be good too. Um, it's just one of those these places that make food like this, and especially the one in particular that I went to here, they name everything after traditional foods, and so their goal, I imagine, is to try to mimic what the traditional taste is. And the peppery part of the taste, the biscuits taste good. It's the and I'm trying not to like, it's not a bad taste. It's just different. If and that's the only way I can explain it. Is that I'd be interested to know what they, I mean, we can't use any cream. There's lots of workarounds they got to use to make these things taste the way they taste. But I'm gonna focus on this for a minute and see what I can get done. It's weird eating it out of a container versus a plate too. Like a plate, I would have been able to like break it up and pull sections off. This, I feel like I'm definitely mashing it. All right. The flavor, the lasting flavor on this is really good. Like the when I set the fork down and I'm sitting here, I'm talking. I mean, it's just like I can just all over my taste buds. Um, and I wish I could pinpoint some of these flavors. Like I said, I know there's pepper. I'm thinking there's got to be like garlic in here, which is weird. And yeah, I can't put my finger on it. I think that like I said, it's got like this garlic flavor that I just am not. That's not expected, and it's good. And like I said, it's really lasting. Um, yeah, it's like a mash now, like a like biscuits and gravy mashed potatoes. Man, so much food. I'm not gonna be able to finish this. I thought I would. Yeah, I mean, that torta had so much bread to it. This is. I mean, this ended up being 3 biscuits. I think. I think it wasn't just 2 biscuits. I think it was 3 biscuits. Damn, it's good. Oh man. I suppose I can push through a few more bites here. All right, let's one more big bite, and then we're gonna call it for this. Maybe if I put it here. Yeah. I don't know which camera's better, but I think this camera might actually have a better. All right, here we go. Piece I dropped on the table earlier. Let Carrie try that if she wants to when I get done here. All right, let me wrap this up. All right. That was really good. And so let me see if I put it in my pocket. Got the receipt here. I couldn't remember. Of course, the receipt doesn't have an individual. It just has my total. I thought it was going to say what each thing cost. The torta, I believe, was $13, and the full order of biscuits and gravy. Carrie says, "Did you save a bite of each for me?" I do have some biscuits and gravy here for you. If you want to taste the bread and the hash browns from the torta, I have that as well. But I do not have a full bite of that wonderful torta. Just real quick, I was going to get in there and see what the price was on each of these things. So the Chorizo Egg Torta, like I said many times already, was $13. The biscuits and gravy for a half order would have been $5, but I went balls to the wall and got the full order. And so that was $8 for the full order. And really the value, I mean, the Carrie ended up getting a breakfast biscuit, which was biscuit, some sort of sausage with cheese on it. And I think she said even like a tofu bacon, and that was $4. So that was probably, that was a pretty good price for a breakfast sandwich. And they have some other things too that I'm going to try in the future. They have French toast. They have a sandwich called the Bernard, which is a sausage, like an open face sausage. They have breakfast muffin with chorizo. They have chicken and waffles. So they have a few different things that I am going to try to eat over the next few weeks. They also have a huge lunch menu as well. Like if I didn't want to get breakfast items, they have salads, they have vegan burgers, they have mac and cheese, they have nachos, they have let me just see, pulled pork, carnitas, quesadillas, stuffed mushrooms, just all kinds of stuff, really. Hot ham and cheese sandwiches, chickpea melts. So I'm going to try different items from this restaurant every week and kind of give my thoughts on them and what I think. And with today's meal, the torta, the Chorizo Egg Torta. While it wasn't a burrito, or I thought torta was tortilla shortened. So yeah, so it's not. It was a sandwich, and it was really good. The hash browns on it was something that I don't know that I've ever really had a sandwich that had hash browns as one of the toppings, bun, hash brown, chorizo, cheese, egg, onion, and then bun. And it so it was different. It wasn't what I was expecting. If I were to give it a rating out of 10, and I'm gonna rate these. I'm gonna rate them. Let's see. I would say that the Chorizo Egg Torta was 7.5 out of 10. I'm gonna be kind of, to be a 10, you got to be really good. To be above an 8 or above a 9, I think you got to be really good. I would get that again, the Chorizo Egg Torta, and I would say that I would give that, like I said, a 7.5 out of 10. It's tough because I don't have like a frame of reference to compare it to necessarily. Like, I know what chorizo tastes like. I know what egg and stuff, cheese tastes like, but that combination together was a new one for me. And then the biscuits and gravy, if I gave that a 7.5, I'd probably give the biscuits and gravy like let's say 6.8. I wouldn't order the biscuits and gravy for just a meal. If I were to get the biscuits and gravy again, I would get it as a side. I would just get the half order. That's a lot of that biscuit to eat. Like I said, it was really cake, like thick, dense cake, biscuit. So it was a lot heavier than the biscuit part was heavier than I expected, even though biscuits are generally kind of heavy. The gravy, while it didn't taste just like sausage gravy, which it wouldn't really taste just like sausage gravy because it doesn't have any sausage in it, or breakfast gravy. I'm not sure how that's made, but it was still very enjoyable. And I would get it, like I said, I would get it as a side to a breakfast again. But I probably wouldn't order the full order because I didn't eat it here, and I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't want that to be my whole meal either at the same time. So, like I said, Chorizo Egg Torta 7.5, and I believe I gave the biscuits and gravy a 6.8. That was great. I mean, it's weird eating these foods now because we've been on our strict diet for so long, and they don't necessarily, like, I don't know. When I got that bite of that egg and onion and like the whole combo of that torta, it was really good. But yeah, I would get the torta again. It tasted great, and it was put together well, I guess. I mean, I would like to have had more of the chorizo on it maybe, and the bun to be a little less cooked. I mean, they toasted the bun, they toasted it well. But for my first Foz feast, feast fit for a king, right? And so I'm real happy with the food. The restaurant is a really neat place, and I'm excited to try some of these other things in the future. Next week, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a breakfast again or if I try some of their lunch things. I'm really hesitant to get into eating too many vegan cheeses because I'm worried that all of this worries me about, like creating some sort of slippery slope where me eating this causes me to screw up my diet overall. And so, every decision I make in the back of my head, I'm like, am I screwing this all up? Am I screwing this all up? But at the same time, I've been in the back of my head for 11 months. Like, you can't F this up. You can't F this up. Whole food, plant-based, no salt, oil, sugar. And it's draining mentally to try to be so perfect for me. Like, and I would, there would be things that we would be eating, or things that like the miso that has the sodium in it, or one of the dishes I can think of specifically is a sushi bowl dish that Carrie makes, that we've had it a few times. It's really good. I mean, it just the whatever the leaves, the seaweed leaves, it nori or something. Um the the flavors in that is just something I never would have eaten before, and eating it now I just really enjoy it. But there's sodium in it. There's like a soy sauce, or there's something in the sauce that we use that kind of kicks it out of being salt, oil, sugar free. And um while whatever, if I have 21 meals in a week, 20 of those meals are going to be striving to be salt, oil, or sugar free. I also, like, I know specifically the times in the last 11 months where I kind of was close to screwing up, not screwing up the diet, but close to. I think I gave this example the other day. Was the Carrie said there's a little bit of salt in the veggie sriracha in the sushi bowl. So it was one of the, it was an ingredient that we use, the sriracha, that helped make the flavor of the sauce. Like, you could add more sriracha, I think, but the part of the flavoring in the sauce itself was sriracha that had sodium in it. Gosh, I totally lost what I was just talking about on that. About being so hardcore. Yeah, I can remember. Yeah, like, I made myself, this is months ago now. This is a few months ago, but I had peanut butter toast for breakfast, and my son had wanted some toast with peanut butter. So I made him toast with peanut butter, and I made it, and I got a little bit of the peanut butter on my finger, and without even thinking, I licked the peanut butter off my finger. Like, I had just eaten my peanut butter and whatever. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, I just had sugar and oil and stuff, and I got frustrated with myself over just a simple, I mean, it was like very little, how you get a little on your finger and you just kind of lick it off. It wasn't like it was a huge amount of that thing, but in my head, I'm kind of like, there goes perfection. Like, there goes the what I was trying to go for. It says, isn't it a natural nut oil? Yeah, in the oil, it would be more the sugar, and that the and just, it's just different than our peanut butters. And again, and it's really, like you said, isn't it just natural? Does it really matter? Does it like like, don't beat yourself up, or I shouldn't be beating myself up over it, because it's really not that big a deal. And it's not like I went and had a double cheeseburger from a fast food restaurant. It was a little bite of something that's still very much plant-based, or would be pretty, it's pretty much on our diet. And so I guess just the whole point of it is that it's just so tough to be like, I got to be perfect every day, every meal. And adding this kind of, I don't know what to call this meal, like, because I don't really believe that it's a cheat meal. Because it's just going to be part of, like, if we travel on a Wednesday and we have to go somewhere and the only option is eating at a vegan restaurant, I'm going to choose to eat at the vegan, or take vegan options somewhere. I'm tired of always having to travel with our food or not eat when I get places, and because I'm not allowing myself to eat those things. Now, those are very rare things. Like, I'm not traveling out of the city anytime soon, or I'm not doing something where I think I'm going to be in a position where I'm eating something else. But uh and then another part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I do feel like I'm missing out's not the right word, but so my hand being on camera is kind of weird. Uh the there's a lot of vegan options out there for people that we haven't even tried. Like the chorizo meat inside of that torta is something I never would have had or tried before because it wouldn't have fallen perfectly in our diet. Not that there's anything wrong with that chorizo. Uh, I don't even know what to call. I hate that the chorizo. It was probably tofu, um, but it's nice to say I've had vegan cheese. Like we give our kids vegan cheese all the time, and Carrie knows that our kids will eat this vegan cheese, but they won't eat this vegan cheese, and we have no idea why. We don't know if it's because that one tastes rancid or if it's just because they decided they didn't want vegan cheese that day. Because there may be one day where we give them a slice of it and then they say they don't like it. And then 2 weeks down the line, it's the only option. And then they say it's fine, and so it's like, it's confusing, with kids to know what they like or don't. And since we don't taste any of that food, it is tough for us to know exactly what is or is not wrong with it, because a lot of times kids will just turn things away just because they are not what they're used to or it's something new. And so that's another part of, there's a lot of these things, like I'm looking at I got their lunch menu open right now, and there's all kinds of stuff on here that I'm very interested in, like what's their queso mac and cheese taste like? What is, the, what else do they got? Shiitake tacos, like a mushroom taco. That sounds interesting. And they got all kinds of stuff. And so I'm excited to try these things to see if maybe there's things that, I like there too that our kids might like, because we've taken our kids to this restaurant as a place to eat, and without, we didn't order some of the things because the guy said that their cheese sauces were really spicy, and that sometimes spice is a relative thing, and so there were things we didn't order because he said they were going to be spicy. It's tough for us to know if they were going to be spicy or not. I got some sort of notification on the phone right now. But I do want to thank you guys for checking out the video. It was great food. The torta is definitely something I would try again. It's not sorry, got a notification up on the screen here too. But yeah, I would definitely get the torta again. And the biscuits and gravy, I would get as a side. I wouldn't order the biscuits and gravy as a meal itself. Like I said, and the flavors, everything was great. Yeah, like I don't think the only difference between what I was expecting with that chorizo and this is that if I had ordered something that was chorizo meat, I would expect like throughout the whole thing, like a red saucy chorizo, like a saucier. Like this was dry. It was dry compared to what I thought it was going to be. But if you'd have put that that bun would have soaked that up, and it would have been a mess. All right. So thank you guys for checking out my first Foz feast. Hopefully the first of many here, and I will be back live on Monday to let you know how all of this digested, to make sure that went well. Because if that doesn't go well, then maybe we won't be doing this again. But so far, I'm very happy with the with the food I tried from there, I'm excited to try some new foods throughout the week throughout the months on the weekends. And really it's back to my regular eating with whole food plant-based. And not that, I mean, this was pretty much whole food plant-based. I mean, there was no animal products in it. Until next Saturday, and I got to decide what I'm going to eat. So thanks guys for checking out the broadcast. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you haven't already, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon there so you'll get notified when I go live, which is usually weekdays at 4 p.m. on YouTube. You guys all have a great weekend. If you haven't started your diet, get started right now. It's not worth waiting.